ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Tuesday, May 14th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I am your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is open this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up today on the program with a lot of success recently for Marshall track and field and cross country, Kylee Bowen. He's the cross country coach. He's going to join us at 5:15, and then we're able to get cross-country runner Kylee Mastin. She's coming on the program at 5:30. So we're going to talk a little track and field with you today. And, of course, we're going to hear from you, and we're going to get into some of the big stories that are happening today. First up, the Thundering Herd going to be at Ohio tonight. Final non-conference game of the season. That's it. After that, it's going to be a 3-game set against Coastal Carolina. And don't forget, we're going to have that Saturday game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Basketball news, probably the biggest story of the day for the Thundering Herd, is Marshall University announcing that former Huntington Prep head coach Rob Fulford is going to be the associate head coach at Marshall University. This was the worst kept secret Marshall basketball in a long time. We all knew it was happening. You saw all the social media posts. You saw all of the chatter. You saw photos of Rob, in community service with the Thundering Herd. That when those photos went out, it's like, you got to release this thing, right? You have to. And so Marshall released it today. He, of course, is a graduate of Marshall University, 7 years as an assistant coach and a recruiting coordinator at Akron. So that's going to help the Thundering Herd. That's been a weakness for Marshall. So I've been told by a lot of people. That's a weakness for Marshall, is recruiting right now. So with a known recruiter like Coach Fulford, there's a name that comes to mind. Guy was in the NBA, #1 pick. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins, you guys are familiar with him. Lottery draft pick. Come on. The guy can recruit. Had a lot of success with Huntington Prep and other variations of it. He was at Missouri as well. He's a Marshall guy through and through. And so now Marshall, you're going after a guy that could be the head coach of your program in the future. You've seen Marshall promote from within. The line of succession was from Dan D'Antoni to Cornelius Jackson. I'm not saying that Corny's gone in a few years, but I'm saying there always could be a quick hire. Whatever the case may be, Rob could be a guy that could be a head coach at Marshall University. He would be someone on my list to call. Right now, he's going to, I think, have an important job, not only as an associate head coach, but also someone that's going to bring a lot of experience recruiting, and he knows talent. He knows talent. He knows how to handle it. That's something that I hope we see more of at Marshall University, especially in this day and age of name, image, and likeness, where you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to be aggressive. Look, not everybody's going to get the big payday in college athletics. We know that. There's a lot of good talent out there. There's a lot of talent out there that's looking to play basketball and maybe get a good education. It's good to have a guy like Coach Fulford on the roster, on the program bench, roaming the sidelines now with Corny. So that's a good get for the Thundering Herd. One baseball note to get into today, and I bring this up only because I want to head off any panic. Today, off of the transaction wire for the Appalachian League, Bryce Blevins, BB-8, Marshall University's very own BB-8, removed from the roster. You even go to the roster page at the Colcats website. He's not on the roster page. No panic here. Don't panic. You might think, well, what's wrong? What's going on? This has been alluded to for a little while. You got a guy in Blevins that is going to be key to your program. He's going to be instrumental in trying to get this program on the winning side and he's going to be somebody that you're going to be able to depend on if he's healthy. Do you want him out there playing summer ball? A guy like him who more of a known commodity now, you know what you've got in him. He was going to be limited anyway. Prior to this, he was going to be limited anyway, but now this is just basically cleaning up the roster spot there. Nothing to worry about. He's going to be a part of Marshall University. He's going to be fine. Nothing to worry about here. But I did want to make note of that today because, of course, we're all getting set for Colt Cats baseball, right? After the Marshall baseball season's over. And Marshall, if they don't sweep Coastal and see a couple other things happen in front of them, regular season's over for Marshall baseball. Hopefully next season will be better. Year one, truly the year one of this program now with the baseball stadium. Hopefully year two will be better. But the Sun Belt's a competitive league. It's a league which has most of its programs either recently upgrading facilities, building new facilities, or had facilities upgraded within a 5 to 10 year span. It's a baseball league. It's not an easy league to be in. And so that's why Marshall has had to catch up. Marshall's playing catch up right now in baseball. Facilities are there now, and they're going to build onto those facilities. They're going to improve the facilities. Year one, you know what you got. You know what you need to do. There'll be more, I'm sure. You got to start building the fan base. You got to start building the experience. Everyone who's gone to the games seems to have fun. Now you got to get the wins to follow. And, of course, those will come as you build to this program. No more excuses now, though. You can't say, well, yeah, they play a Route 2. They play at a YMCA field. So it's okay that they were competitive. Give them credit. They were competitive in Conference USA. Give them credit. There were times where they were more competitive than they should have been. And so you have a coaching turnover. You have the transfer portal now where players don't have to stick around and tough it out. And that's going to continue in all sports. And so now you have a situation where, okay, you got the facilities now. You got to start working the roster. You got to start putting it together. And you got to keep your guys as well. You got a guy like Bryce Blevins. You got to keep him. You got to keep him healthy. So no Colt Cats for him. I mean, for guys that are still trying to make a name for themselves, this is going to be a great opportunity. Get to play at Marshall University's beautiful Jack Cook Field. And, of course, you might have an opportunity. You look at some of these guys that come into Huntington. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but you have an opportunity here with your facilities. Players come in, they kind of like what's going on. They like what they see. They could possibly say, I'm going to keep Marshall in mind. If it doesn't work out where I'm at, absolutely keep that in mind. And, of course, it's going to be a recruiting tool, obviously. You can't avoid the problems anymore that you had. You got rid of those. You have a stadium. You can recruit to it now. And you're starting to see some talent surface for the Thundering Herd. Bryce Blevins being one of those key components of this team. You can build around him. You can build a team. And let's keep him healthy. So I'm okay with that. I know if you are a fan of summer baseball, you were looking forward to seeing a little bit more of Bryce Blevins. It's kind of disappointing for you. But there's going to be a lot of talent out there on the field. Speaking of talent on the field, Marshall's track and field team doing pretty well. The women are excelling. The men still have work to do, but it's getting better. And to join us in the next few minutes to talk about all of it is Kylee Bowen. He's Marshall's cross-country head coach. He's going to join us, and then we're going to talk about one of his standouts, and that is Kylee Mastin. Both of them coming up, but Caleb's coming up first on today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
America Strong. It's what we're all about. And to keep America strong, all Glockner locations are offering our lowest live market prices so you save big. And with our partnership with Kelley Blue Book, the Glockner buying centers are able to offer $2,000 above current market value for your current vehicle. That's how we're keeping America strong at the Glockner family of dealerships.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
In the tapestry of life, we encounter stories of legacy and accomplishment, but sometimes also abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation. Adult Protective Services understands the importance of safeguarding the well-being of our loved ones, our neighbors, and our community. To report neglect or abuse, call 800-352-6513. Sponsored by the Administration for Community Living, West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources, Bureau for Social Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project was supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $383,493, with 75% funded by ACL, HHS, and 25% in the amount of $85,236 funded by state government sources. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by, ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Tacos, tacos, tacos.
And margaritas, too.
The second annual Huntington Taco Fest is on, presented by Walking Billboard and Western Regional Casa. Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Enjoy more than 20 food vendors and area restaurants and their unique take on tacos, nachos, and quesadillas. Plus, a plethora of flavored margaritas, Mexican beers, and more. Taco eating contest for kids and adults, inflatables, a mechanical bull, and more prizes. Included free food for a year, Ray-Bans, and more. Plus a chance to win an Apple Vision Pro. All at Harris Riverfront Park, Saturday, May 18th from 12 to 8. Sponsors include Evan Juice Card, Sean Hornbuckle, Edward Jones, Rocco's, Texas Roadhouse, Fairfield U, Legends Barbershop, Stadium Spirits, Hillcrest Landscaping, Summit Community Bank, West Tanapa, Gabby, Casa Grande, Taco Brothers, Modelo, and the Beverage Market. Huntington Taco Fest, Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Get more info on Facebook or at Taco Fest WV on Instagram.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive. Paul Swann, your host. Going to open the text line back up for you in a minute. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Joining us now on the program, and it's time for him to take a victory lap, is Marshall's cross-country head coach, Caleb Bowen. Over the weekend, some standout performances from many on the cross-country team, the track and field team, including two major standouts. And we'll talk to Kylee Mastin here in a few minutes. Caleb Bowen's with us, and we're going to talk to her and kind of find out just how does it feel to be great. And you get to take that victory lap as well, Caleb, because does it get old just watching Kylee just take gold after gold? Does it get old?
Hey, sorry, I did not hear a word you just said.
I said you were the best coach at Marshall University of all time. You missed that. You missed me say that, right?
Oh, no.
I talked you up completely and said that you're the reason why Marshall is having such a success in track and field. You,
I don't know about
all
that.
by yourself.
No, that's definitely not true. I mean, to be honest, when you have like athletes like Kylee, like Abby, like Evan, Ronnie, Hannah Weiler, like all these guys, like really the coaches' jobs are so much easier. You just kind of let them do their thing, and you just make sure they get to the right place at the right time.
That's still hard though. To wrangle all of them. I've seen their social media accounts. It's like herding cats sometimes.
Sometimes.
So, how'd you feel overall about the performance? You come home with some standout performances. You bring some gold home. How'd you feel overall? Was it where you were hoping you would be at this point? Maybe you were expecting a little higher. What was your evaluation before and after?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, like we had several goals going into it, and we didn't hit all of them, but for the most part, we had like really great showing all across the board. Just like specifically with the distance group. Obviously, we wanted to win everything we were in, but like for Kylee Mastin, it is really, really, really hard to win the 1500 and the 800 because not only is there great runners in that 800 after she's already tired, but the amount of time in between the 15 and the 8 it's like less than an hour. So like if you run your all like 100% effort in that 1500, it's really hard to come back in the 8. So, seeing her crush that 1500 and run a picture perfect race, like perfect strategy, that was amazing. And being able to come back and still get a lot of points for the team, that was big.
What's she mean to the overall success of this program? And where would you place her right now?
Oh, I mean, she's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, we haven't had too many individual champions, really in any event. So the fact that she's been able to win both the mile indoor and the 15 outdoor, that's huge. Like, I mean, not only is she a school record holder, I mean, she's broken her own school record so many times in both the 8 and the 15, but also she's really good in cross country as well. I mean, second team all conference this year, third team last year. And to be honest, like she does almost the same amount of work as Abby Herring, who's like a 5K, 10K athlete, but she focuses on the shorter distance. So I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if she just kind of takes what Abby has done and then tries to like close that gap in cross country because she is such a strong runner. I think she could handle it and be able to do it pretty well. And then I think she can break her own records next indoor season. I think the ultimate goal. I mean, it'd be really, really, really tough, but, ultimate goal would be to get as close to 4:30, 4:35 as possible for the full mile. I think she could do that.
How much does Kylee and Abby build off of each other? They seem like the best of friends, and they're always happy for each other, but they're also pushing each other. And, you're always trying to get the most success possible for yourself, but it feels like those two are just happier for the other one than they are themselves.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're best friends, and it's like they're not only best friends, but they're also really good training partners. They feed off of each other at practice. They run with each other pretty much every day. You really don't see one without the other, and it's been pretty cool to see. Coach Roberts calls them the Beatles because they're always together and they're breaking records every other week. So, no, they're just awesome. I mean, they definitely set the tone, like, for the whole team of, like, what work ethic really is. And I think that's huge, not only for themselves, but for the rest of the team.
Do they get that Beatles reference? That's my first question.
They do. I mean, we had to explain it, but they got it.
See, you had to explain it. That was the answer I was looking for. You had to explain it to them.
I mean, I don't know if we had to, but I felt like the context was probably needed.
Fair. Very fair. What's it been like with Keith Roberts in his first season? How's that relationship built between you two?
It's been good. He definitely understands like what distance runners need, and definitely appreciates the cross country side of things, which is good. Because I mean, he has coached cross country before himself at Heidelberg, and was part of a pretty good D2 program at Grand Valley. So, like, he had a pretty good understanding of it. Plus, like, at EIU, they had a really strong team as well. So it's been good.
Thundering Herd having some success in the Sun Belt sooner than maybe a lot of people thought it would have on the men's side as well. We've talked about the Kylee and Abby a lot because they're the two that really get the headlines, but we can't overlook what's been happening with the men's side as well. How are you feeling about the progress that this team has made?
I mean, if you look at just the conference score, you would be disappointed, and obviously so. But the amount of stuff we've been able to do in the past 2 years, I mean, heck, last year at this time, the track team that's for the men's side was just brought like 6 months before then. So, like, we were able to field a team and actually have somebody break a school record with Brett Armbruster, make it to the first round of nationals. Like, there was a lot of really big things that happened. Ronnie Saunders getting second in the steeplechase at conference. So that this year we've built on that, and we have recruited a lot of guys to the team, so we have a lot more people in each event. And then, like, guys like Evan White, Ronnie Saunders, they really took the whole how to lead a team to the next level, and it's been huge. I mean, they've definitely pushed the envelope of what's possible for this team, and that's crazy because we didn't have the team just a couple, less than 2 years ago. When they came in, they were just cross country only, and then they had COVID to deal with, and then everything else, coaching change and all that. So this group has definitely overcome a lot of obstacles to be where they are, and I think we're going to just see this team continue to progress and grow and get better. Hopefully score more points at conference, send more people to the national championship and stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Marshall cross country coach Kylee Bowen with us. Speaking of after tournament, of course, NCAA, it's everyone's goal. What's the outlook look like there as far as who's got a shot, who has an opportunity?
So I'll kind of explain it, how you qualify. So the United States is split between two regions. You have the East region and the West region, and it's split by the Mississippi River. So any school that's on the East region has to compete within each other the whole season, and you have to be in the top 48 in your event. So for, like, Abby, she's in the top 48 in the 10K, so she's automatically going. Kylee is in the 60s, so she has a shot of making the first round of nationals. However, she needs people to be scratched in order for her to get in. The 1500 was just crazy stupid this year. Like, her time PR this year would have gotten in last year, but for some reason, a lot more people ran faster this year. So we have to wait till, I think, tomorrow or Thursday for the official, like, who gets selected and who doesn't. But so we have Abby, who's qualified in the 10,000 meters. We have Rebecca Merritt, who is qualified in the hammer and the discus. And then we have Tyra Thomas, who's qualified in the 100 hurdles.
My guest is Marshall cross country coach Kylee Bowen, the Thundering Herd, looking to hopefully send several to the NCAA East Regional, and it's been a rewarding season so far for you. Coming up next, we're going to have Kylee Mastin with us, and Kylee has been with us before. I need something new now. We've talked to her a lot. Give me something new on her that I can hit her with. Can you come up with something?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I should have thought about this before I came on.
Yeah.
Don't ask her about the TikTok stuff because we already did that.
We did that.
time.
Yeah, we gone over that. She's a social media influencer. We know that.
She is.
And that led to some recruiting successes for you, right? I don't think we've talked about that. That she's basically recruiting for the Thundering Herd now on TikTok, just by presence alone.
She is. It's kind of funny just to even think about that. Just ask her what were her expectations going into the conference meet, and how difficult it is to come back for that 800, especially because you're running against the defending champions from last year. And, all of a sudden now she's become this person where other athletes are, scared of her. People going into the 1500 were saying, talking about how they're hoping Kylie's worn out from the prelims so they might have a chance in the final. Maybe ask her about that stuff because it's kind of funny to hear about.
Okay, I like that. that plays into stuff I've been talking about her. She's pretty much, when it comes to the 1500, she's inevitable. You know, it's hers. And so they're legit scared. Are they just like, oh, we don't want to face her? Are they legit scared? They look at her and they get nervous. I mean,
they get nervous. Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because the defending champion from last year looked terrified before the race. So, you know, it's definitely in her head, like in Rahel's head, like, hey, I have to race against Kylee Mastin, who outsprinted me in an indoor. How am I going to not let that happen? And Kylee just went out and actually just did a right strategy and blew her out of the water there in the last lap. So it wasn't even a kicker's race. It was a different type of strategy race.
Okay. I like it. We'll go there. And then give me something for Kylee and, of course, Abby. We know they're best friends. What do they like to go after each other on? What's the thing that they go after each other the most with?
Well, in workouts, like, Abby will tell you she's not very fast, that she has no speed. But for some reason, that's a lie, obviously. And she will go deep into the well to, like, push Kylee, and then Kylee do the same to her on the last rep of every workout we do. So, I mean, they get after each other on that.
Okay, so Abby's playing head games. She's trying to get in her head and mess with her a little bit to see how she'll respond. I like it.
You know, I don't even think it's on purpose. I think she just does it because that's just her nature. Like, I don't think she thinks about it. I just think she does it.
Okay, so she's sandbagging, is what you're telling me.
She's sandbagging, yeah.
I like it. My guest, Kylee Bowen, Marshall's cross-country coach. Good talking to you again. Always have fun when we get you on, and it's been exciting to watch the progress of this program, both on the men's and women's side. And you've got some of the more, let's just say your squad's fun, and that's always a good thing.
That's for sure. It's awesome being their coach.
Kylee Bowen, my guest. Thanks, Kylee. We'll do it again soon.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
That's Kylee Bowen, everyone. All right, when we continue, we're going to talk to Kylee Mastin. I don't know if Kylee was tuned in. If she was, she'll be a little bit prepared for what I'm going to throw at her. But we're not talking about the TikTok stuff. That's off the table. Everything else is fair game, though. We'll do that when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big money on everything. Now at Menards. Make quick work of your outdoor cleaning project with Masterforce outdoor and landscaping tools. The 80-volt cordless trimmer is powerful, efficient, and hassle-free. So you spend less time working on your yard and more time enjoying the results. On sale now through May 19th. Check out our wide selection of Masterforce tools and see the rest of our deals on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Tattoo Saloon here, Tri-State's newest tattoo studio located in Greenup, Kentucky, just a mile and a half southeast of the Dam Bridge. Come by, check us out. We're ready to make a custom tattoo design for you. We take walk-ins every day for tattoos and for piercings. That's right, walk-ins every day for tattoos and piercings. Come in, check out our staff. We have plenty of artists to choose from and a few piercers. We hope to see you guys. Come by and check out Tattoo Saloon in Greenup, Kentucky.
Get in the groove. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua's Sauvignon Blanc. Kick off the summer Friday, May 17th. It's K&B Pest Control Night with Kindred Valley and Sam Epling on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for June 21st for a ticket to ride to 9th Street Live, a celebration of the Beatles with the Newbies. Friday, August 2nd, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kindred Communications.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Just a few moments ago, if you missed it, we spoke with Marshall Cross Country coach Kylee Bowen. And if you did miss that, you can catch that back on our podcast. You can download that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Joining us now on the program is Marshall Cross Country runner Kylee Mastin. Kylee recently winning the 1500, bringing home another gold medal, and she joins us now on the program. It's nice to win gold medals, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
How'd it feel when you got out there and when it was all said and done? You know, what was going through your mind when you crossed the line and it was yours?
It felt really good. Honestly, I knew that after winning indoor conference, it was going to be kind of like, I guess, like a target on my back. And so actually winning outdoor for the 1500 felt really good.
Coach said that other runners now are afraid of you, that they are scared to go up against you. Did you feel that? Did you notice that there was a little bit more angst among your competitors when you were out there?
I'm not sure if I felt like anybody was like scared. Definitely, I'm getting to know more people in the conference that I'm running with, and honestly, people are all really nice in the conference, and so everybody like giving each other high fives and telling each other great job after races, which is kind of nice and less stressful.
But you would like them to be scared, though, right? You'd be fine with that if you were in their head a little bit, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
My guest is Kylee Mastin. So you get the 1500, you compete well all across the board at the Sunbelt Championship. You know, what were your expectations? You mentioned you win the indoor, you had a target on your back. You know, was that the expectation that you were no longer hunting, you were the hunted, and did you like that position being the one that everyone's coming after?
It was definitely different because going into indoor, I was actually ranked second in the conference behind one girl. And then for outdoor, we kind of flip-flopped. We were really close together. And there were a couple other people that would be, like, vying for a podium spot. So it was definitely a lot different, you know, not just, like, fighting for a point, like actually fighting to try and win.
What was it like after you gave it your all for the 1500 to come back and do well in the 800? And that's hard. Everybody who thinks that's easy should try it sometime because it's not that easy to go out, run the 1500, and then come right back and try to do the same thing in the 800.
Yeah, I know that the goal of the meet was to really focus on the 15 and final for the 8 so that I could score some points for both. And I definitely felt it after I finished the 1500, I think I did like a 5-minute cool down, and then 20 minutes later I had to warm up again. And I remember getting on the line and just feeling so exhausted. There were 2 other girls in the race that had run the 1500, so I knew it was going to be like a fight between the 3 of us because the other girls had been fresh for the day. So.
But you did well, and that's the takeaway. You did well, and I don't think too many people can say that they ran the 1500, won it, and then came back and did well in the 800.
Yeah, I was honestly, I knew it would be my last two laps, my last race for outdoor track ever, so I just wanted to give it my best effort.
What'd that feel like? Now you know that, okay, outdoors done at Marshall, it's complete. You know, what were the emotions like? Has it still hit you?
It's definitely sad, but I have cross country and I have indoor track, so I still have another track season. I just won't be racing on the 400-meter track.
So who's going to replace you? Who is the next Kylee Mastin to step up?
I don't think it's like a replacing. We have a bunch of girls that have a couple girls coming in, and all of the underclassmen, being juniors, seniors, they're really step up. They work really hard all year, and I just see them getting better every practice and every meet.
But does it feel good to know that you've set a standard, you set the stage, and those girls that are coming in are probably looking to you now? Do you feel that?
I definitely feel like it's an honor, and I feel like I kind of set the stage first, and so I've been training with her, and that's really exciting to be able to do.
Coach talked a little bit about that. Kylee Bowen was with us earlier, Marshall's cross-country coach, talked about that too, and he said that Keith Roberts, director of track and field at Marshall, calls you to the Beatles, and my first question to him was, did you even know what that reference meant?
I know who the Beatles are, but I was a little bit confused on the reference, so then he had to actually explain it, so it made more sense.
If you were going to describe you two, and the Beatles weren't the go-to, and again, Coach has probably shown his age a little bit, how would you describe you and Abby?
Honestly, I don't really know. We're best friends, and I think the biggest thing that we do is we don't take it. We take obviously training super seriously and racing super seriously, but we're able to kind of step back a little bit and have fun with it. And honestly, it makes us a lot better as athletes.
How has she made you better, and how have you made her better?
Yeah, so she pushes me in every single workout we do together, and so that obviously is making me so much better. And then she'll say that she's not very fast, so I push her in the middle distance workouts, which is not true, but I'll let her think that, I guess.
Is she doing that to get in your head to mess with you, or is she just sandbagging?
No, Abby's really, really humble, and I think that she doesn't fully believe how good she actually is.
My guest is Kylee Mastin. She had success recently winning the 1500, did quite well across the several days of the championships, and so now you got to look forward to possibility of taking this to the NCAAs.
I'm kind of not really on the bubble anymore. The times are a lot faster than this year than they were last year. So I ended up reaching my goal time for the season, but it's not going to be fast enough to get into first rounds.
Well, when Coach talked to us, he said there might be some scratches, so there's still a possibility. So the hope is still there.
Yeah. The hope is still there.
That wouldn't be make or break for you this season if that didn't happen, right? Or I'm sure it'd be a disappointment, but that's not going to be the breaking point for you. You've still got a lot ahead of you.
Yeah, it was the goal. It was the goal for this season, but the goal, looking at it, was the time goal of 4:20, and I was able to run 4:19, and it just didn't get in this year. So
You've been through it a little bit with cross country, trying to get better, improving, showing success. And just what were those challenges like for you as you've progressed? What are some of the things maybe that we don't realize you're going through as you try to get better and you have this success, and then you try to maintain this success that you're showing?
Yeah, I think for me, staying healthy is a big thing. I kind of had struggled with injury a lot in my early seasons, and so I like running higher mileage, but also staying healthy is a priority. So kind of toning that down a little bit is important for me.
My guest is Kylee Mastin, winning the gold medal in the conference for the 1500. So how do you change gears now that the outdoor season's over for you? You got to start switching gears. What's that transition look like when you go from one to the other, for at least for you? What do you want that to look like?
Yeah, so I'll take a little bit of time off, like a week or 10 days, and then slowly work back in. It's honestly just a lot of mileage, and then later in the summer we'll do workouts, but the workouts will be a lot longer and not like track workouts where you're doing like repeats on a track. It'll be more like tempo workouts where you're running faster miles, that type of stuff.
My guest, Kylee Mastin. All right, now you know Abby's coming on with me tomorrow, and you've got the advantage. You can have me hit her with something she's not expecting. So you got the advantage this time. Remember, she did it to you last time.
The only thing I can think of is I have never met someone who needs to get a sweet treat after every single meal like she does.
Oh, can you go into detail on that? I need to know more. Does she
Yeah.
Does she crave something in particular? Is she like, I need ice cream? You know, does she have junk food in her bag? What's the deal?
It's honestly, it's whatever. She just needs like something sweet. We'll do like, and then obviously like I have to get something sweet because like she wants something sweet, so we have to eat it together. So we'll do like Dairy Queen, or whenever we're on trips and they have a crumble cookie, we always go and get a crumble cookie.
So this is after every practice, every meet. This is just whenever she runs, she needs that, no matter what.
It's normally like after dinner.
Okay.
Like, almost every night we'll have a sweet treat.
Okay, so that explains she's pushing herself harder so she can justify all the sweet treats, right? Is that basically how this works for her?
Yeah, I think that's why she's as good as she is. The sweet treats are really motivating for her.
Has she ever not got a sweet treat, and did it look ugly afterwards?
Yeah, she usually gets pretty upset if she can't have a sweet treat.
I'm gonna hit her with this tomorrow, so
Okay, good.
just be prepared. Remember, she's the one that got us on the social media influencer thing on you. So
Yeah.
how'd that conversation go afterwards? Was there anything said?
Yeah, I yelled at her for saying it.
Did you really?
No.
Oh, that would have been a better story if you said yes. You should have stuck with that story. That would have been a better story. Like, yeah, I yelled at her. And then you called her slow, too, and that probably would have got under her skin, right?
Yeah.
Our guest is Kylee Mastin. Kylee, it's always fun to talk to you. I'm so excited for all your success. Look forward to seeing the rest of the journey for you and where it takes you. And, of course, we love it when you bring home gold medals, so hopefully you can keep doing that and bring us some more hardware and bring all the success back home for you and Marshall.
Thank you so much.
That's Kylee Mastin. Sweet treats, that's what we have learned today about her teammate. Dairy Queen sweet treats. I think that's basically what she was saying as far as Abby Herring. She needs Dairy Queen sweet treats or something sweet. That's probably not going to be the entire basis of the interview tomorrow, but that's something that's going to come up. I still like this. She should have stuck with it where she said she yelled at Abby about the TikTok thing. She should have stuck with that. That would have been a better story. We'll get your text in when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Basement Authority of West Virginia. We put water back in its place. Go to basementauthorityofwv.com. License number WV0274735067.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
May is National Electrical Safety Month, and First Energy's Potomac Edison and Mon Power are here with tips to help you protect your home tech and gadgets. Utilize surge protectors, but be sure that you don't overload your power strips. Avoid using extension cords whenever possible, and never use them as a permanent substitute for safe, adequate wiring. For more safety tips, visit firstenergycorp.com/safety. This message sponsored by First Energy, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Tacos, tacos, tacos.
And margaritas, too.
The second annual Huntington Taco Fest is on, presented by Walking Billboard and Western Regional Casa. Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Enjoy more than 20 food vendors and area restaurants and their unique take on tacos, nachos, and quesadillas. Plus, a plethora of flavored margaritas, Mexican beers, and more. Taco eating contest for kids and adults, inflatables, a mechanical bull, and more prizes. Included free food for a year, Ray-Bans, and more. Plus a chance to win an Apple Vision Pro. All at Harris Riverfront Park, Saturday, May 18th from 12 to 8. Sponsors include Evan Juice Card, Sean Hornbuckle, Edward Jones, Rocco's, Texas Roadhouse, Fairfield U, Legends Barbershop, Stadium Spirits, Hillcrest Landscaping, Summit Community Bank, West Tanapa, Gabby, Casa Grande, Taco Brothers, Modelo, and the Beverage Market. Huntington Taco Fest, Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Get more info on Facebook or at Taco Fest WV on Instagram.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
Final segment, today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up tomorrow on the program, we've been talking about track and field as of late. The Thundering Herd has been excelling on the field. Tomorrow on the program, are you excited for this? Because we had Kylee Mastin on earlier, and we had Bowen. So now we're going to have Abby Herring, and we're going to ask her why she thinks she's slow. So that's coming up tomorrow on the program. Busy night in baseball. We've got Pirates baseball action coming up tonight. Game 2 starting at 7:15 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Pirates beating the Brewers 8-6. I talked to Pirates fans in the building. They're all over the place in this building, and they're disgruntled bunch. They're winning, but they're disgruntled bunch. All right, text line. I love this. Texter writes in and says, "Hey, Paul. If Rasheen Ali were to score the winning touchdown against the Bengals, would you be happy for him or more upset as a Bengals fan?" Be mad? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, I would be happy for Rasheen. At the same time, I'd be mad at Rasheen. I think I'd be mad at Rasheen, happy for Rasheen, and mad at the Bengals. I mean, at this point, am I more of a Marshall fan? On Sundays, am I a Marshall fan or am I a Bengals fan? That's the thing. Marshall fan, Bengals fan. I mean, obviously I want Rasheen to be good. I really want him to have success. Absolutely. But at the same time, I mean, why's he got to do that to me? That's the thing. Why you got to do that to me, Rasheen? Why you got to score the winning touchdown and beat me? Beat me like that. We're going to get the schedule. That's coming up tomorrow, but we already know the Bengals and Chiefs are going to be slated for Week 2 on CBS. Bengals single-game tickets are going to go on sale May 15th. Bengals signed their 2 draft picks today, wide receiver Jermaine Burton. He was a third-rounder, and their tight end Eric All Jr. So they get those guys signed. Bengals making moves today, making sure that they've got a team coming up, especially Week 2, not Week 1, Week 2. Bengals and the Chiefs. That is going to be Sunday, and that's going to be at Arrowhead, 4:25 p.m. on CBS. Home schedule, obviously. You got the regular season games. You got the preseason games. Bengals are going to play host to Baltimore, Cleveland, Denver, Las Vegas, New England, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and the Washington Commanders. Interesting schedule there. Philadelphia Eagles should be fun. Pittsburgh should be fun. Washington Commanders. It makes sense, though. They're close by. If it was college, I would say play this game. It's close by. There'll be a lot of Washington fans, I'm sure, trying to make the trip to Cincinnati. There's a lot. This is a weird area because we got Washington, we have Baltimore fans, we have Cleveland fans, we have Pittsburgh fans, we have Cincinnati fans. I mean, are there some Colt fans here? And of course, there are a lot of Green Bay Packer fans everywhere. They're just everywhere. And there's a lot of Cowboy fans. I don't know why. I don't know how you handle that disappointment every year, but there you are. Other baseball action. The Diamondbacks got the best of the Reds, 6-5, and the Guardians got the best of the Rangers, 7-0. And NBA playoffs. Boston got the win over Cleveland, 109-102. Celtics lead that series 3-1. Oklahoma City beat Dallas 196. That series is tied at 2 games apiece. Indiana and the Knicks, New York, 8 o'clock tonight. Series tied 2 games. Minnesota at Denver, 10:30. That's tied at 2 games apiece. Yesterday, Carolina coming back after being down 1-0 in the third period, scoring 4 unanswered to beat the Rangers. Rangers still lead that series 3-2, going back to Carolina. Dallas getting the best of Colorado 5-1 yesterday. Dallas leads that series 3-1. Florida taking on Boston tonight. Florida leads that series 3-1. Can clinch tonight the next round. Vancouver and Edmonton tonight, 9:30. Vancouver leads that series 2-1. And the WNBA, everybody's ready. Regular season tonight. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever open up the season, taking on Connecticut, 7:30 p.m. What's going to have more viewership? NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Caitlin Clark. What's going to be the most watched event tonight? Will it be an NBA game, an NHL game? I'll say this right now. The NHL game will be behind the NBA game. That's fair to say. But will Caitlin Clark, will her debut, her official debut, will that have more viewership than the NBA? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably going to, at least for that first game, it's probably going to be on par, if not outdraw, the NHL. Especially the matchups. Vancouver-Edmonton, that's a matchup I would watch, but that's not the general populace here. And Boston-Florida, that might be a matchup some folks watch. But that's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Have a great night, everyone.